Welcome to the satisfaction session. My name is Felicity. I'm a satisfaction expert, a yoga teacher, and a reflexologist who is empowering people to live a satisfied life that they don't need to escape from. And this week we're going to do a meditation. I wanted to talk to you a bit about this meditation before I start as well. I'm going to do a meditation that's based on this book here, Insight into Reality by Swami Nishalananda Saraswati. And I was put onto this by Julie Hemmings, who I did a mantra meditation course with last year. And it's based on the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. So one of those good old texts. And I mean, the first part of it is not the Tantra. It's kind of Swami Nishalananda explaining stuff all about consciousness and awareness. It's pretty deep stuff. I basically absorbed all that when I went to camp on Glastonbury Fields last year. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to go through each of the meditations in turn. So the story of the Tantra is that Bhairavi, who is kind of the highest form of a goddess in the Tantras, in Vedic, I nearly said mythology, and that's probably not the right word, but in Vedic teachings, Bhairavi, the female god, goes to Bhairava, who's the highest form of Shiva, really, and basically says, how can I learn about what reality is? And he kind of says, I can't tell you that. It's a bit like what I teach and do in my classes, to be honest. I can't teach you that. All I can do is teach you how to what tools to use in order that you can then discover it for yourself. So this knowledge is knowledge that we have in ourselves. We just have to discover it. And you discover it through meditations. And there are 112 meditations, 112 dharanas. And I've only done 4 so far. And we're going to do the first 4 in today's meditation. So a couple of other things that I want to mention. Don't be scared by all these long words and that I might be using and odd names and things like that. It's actually a really simple meditation. You're just going to focus on your breath. I'm going to guide you into different ways that you can focus on your breath and different parts of the breath and different ways that you can consider the breath. So don't get scared. The final part, the 4th part, is there is going to be an actual breathing practice there. Now, if you don't feel comfortable with holding your breath, so we're going to hold it in and then hold it out. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, don't do it. Just keep focusing on your breath. I'll mention a concept called Jalandhara Bandha. If you don't understand what that is, just ignore it. Just keep focusing on your breath, perhaps holding breath out, holding the breath in. If you do understand what Jalandhara Bandha is, then I'll prompt you to use it. So it's there as an option. If you understand what it is, you feel comfortable with it. It's really important that you, in this kind of meditation, especially as I'm not in the room with you, so you have to kind of moderate yourself and make sure what you're doing is safe for you. And the only other thing I was going to say was I sometimes go quite quiet. I will sometimes give you silence in order that you can focus on the breath and you're not having to always listen to me. Hopefully you can hear my clock ticking in the background, so you know I'm still here. My students in my classes like the fact that I've got the clock ticking, because whenever I go quiet, they're like, it's okay, we're still connected. and they get freaked out when I don't have the clock ticking. So I am still here, but I will go quiet on occasion just to give you the space to be able to focus purely on the breath. And I don't have any background music. I love music. I don't love music when I'm meditating or doing yoga. For me, they're two separate things. Might have to write a blog about that someday. So, ideally, if you can sit for meditation, that's better because we're focusing on the breath. And if you're lying down, you're blocking off part of your rib cage. So we obviously breathe into the back of our lungs as well. If you're lying down, you will be restricting that a bit. But I don't know how long I'm going to do this for, probably about somewhere between 10-15 minutes. If you're really not going to be comfortable seated for that long, then you can lie down. You can always move. Sometimes you're better to move than be really fighting against discomfort. You don't have to sit cross-legged, you can sit on a chair. But wherever you're sitting, make sure you're comfortable and supported. And make sure you can feel nice and tall. So if you're in a chair, try not to be leaning back into the chair. This isn't really a sofa thing. You can do it more relaxed if you want. I'm not telling you can't. I'm just giving you the ideal way that we can practice this meditation. So wherever you are, let's come to our comfortable seated place. So whatever's in contact with the floor, feel really drawn to it. Feel really grounded. If you are in a chair, ideally you want your feet planted on the floor, both feet evenly planted on the floor. And while you're feeling that you are gravitating towards the ground, can you also have a sense that the ground is coming up to meet you? So you're fully supported. Can you have a sense that from that energy that's coming up from the floor and supporting you, that can run right through your body, through the spine, through to the crown of the head, to help you feel long and tall? Can you feel lengthened up the front and back of the spine? Have a sense that the rib cage is above the hips, the shoulders are above the rib cage, and your skull is right in the middle there of your spine. And can we be relaxed in our arms and the shoulders, arms just resting either in the lap or on the thighs? And if it's comfortable for you right now, you can close the eyes or just let the gaze soften in front of you. Let the face relax. Bring your attention to your breathing. Bhairavi asks Bhairava, by what means can I know the fullness of consciousness? How can the most subtle aspect of Shakti be the key? Oh Bhairava, please tell me how I can completely know you. Bhairava replies, O beloved, insight may arise between two breaths. Be aware of the point from which the breath comes in and the point to which the breath goes. So as you observe your breath now, without changing it, can you have a sense of where the breath is coming from? Can you visualize in your mind a point from which the breath comes from and into your body? This could be just on the edge of the body. So breathing naturally through the nose. Or it could be that you can visualize the breath coming from beyond the energy field of your body. If this feels too obscure for you, just visualize a point that makes the most sense for you. And can you also visualize the point to which the breath goes to? The point within your body where the breath is heading to. Whether that's in your throat, in your lungs, could be high up in your lungs, could be deep into the belly. So whatever makes the most sense to you. Can you visualize the breath like a pendulum, moving between 2 points, from outside of your body to inside the body and back outside the body again? And Bhairava then says, be aware as the breath turns from out to in, and again as the breath turns from in to out. So can you start to focus on the point at which the breath changes, the point at which you change from an inhale to an exhale, and then you change from an exhale to an inhale. Can you perhaps perceive that they overlap slightly? That the slowing of the inhale is the start of the requirement to exhale. Can we again visualize that pendulum? Knowing that the energy that changes the direction of a pendulum starts before the pendulum changes direction. And Bhairava says, be aware of the inner space where the in-breath fuses with the out-breath. This can transform into Kawali Kumbhaka, where there are no thought patterns. Here there seems to be no energy, and yet it seems to be the source of energy. So keeping your attention on that point at which breath changes from inhale to exhale, or from exhale to inhale. Can you perhaps now perceive that there's a moment where there is no breathing? There is a moment where the inhale and the exhale both pause. Like that pendulum, there's a moment where it reaches its apex, just seems to hang in the air before changing direction. Can we notice the gaps between the inhale and the exhale, and between the exhale and the inhale? Bhairava says, practice external and internal breath retention to reveal the sublime peace of Bhairava, or of consciousness. So, if you are not comfortable with retaining the breath, please just keep your breath natural, your focus on your breath. If you'd like to try a breath retention, take a deeper inhale now and hold the breath for as long as you feel comfortable. Please release and return to your natural breath as soon as you need to. If you know of Jalandhara Bandha and you wish to apply this, you may wish to help you retain the breath, and then returning to natural breath for a couple of breaths before taking another deep inhale, holding the breath in, and releasing whenever you feel the need to. Taking a few natural breaths again. So if you'd like to repeat that a couple more times, deep breath in, holding the breath in, could just be for a couple of seconds, that's fine. Releasing, returning to a natural breath. And then we're going to try retention of the exhalation. This is often harder. So again, if you're not comfortable with it, please just breathe naturally. If you're ready, you can take a deep exhale and then holding the breath out for as long as you feel comfortable. And taking a breath in whenever you need to, taking a few natural breaths before doing that again. So breathing out, deep breath out, holding the breath out, maybe applying Jalandhara Bandha, and taking a breath in whenever you need to. And returning to your natural breath. So again, you can repeat this a couple more times if that feels okay to you. You can return to retention of the inhalation if you prefer. You can move between the two. And see if you can observe that sense of spaciousness that comes as the breath pauses. And returning back to your natural breath now. Just letting it be rested and relaxed. Enjoying this last few moments of peace, just with you and your breath. And now I'd like you to bring your attention to the inhalation in particular. As we inhale, we're bringing more life and energy into the body. So I'd like you now to deepen those inhalations. Bringing more life and energy into the body every time you breathe in. Taking a deeper breath. And when you're feeling a little more awake, you're ready, just let the breath rest and bring some movement into the body by wiggling fingers and toes. Move the muscles in the face, the jaw, the cheeks, the eyebrows. Bring some movement into your arms. You can move your legs if you need to, especially if you're seated. Gently start to bring some movement to the head and the neck. Maybe turning the head from side to side a couple of times. Moving into the shoulders and down into the spine. Moving whatever way you need to wake the body up. Wake the mind up as well. Maybe you want to have a stretch. Maybe you want to hug the knees in. And bringing the chin down to the chest as you gently blink the light back into your eyes. Bring yourself back into your room gently. And I hope you enjoyed that meditation. I hope that was okay for you. I'd love to hear what you think about that, how your experience was of that meditation. Bob me something in the comments. And if you think that anyone else would appreciate this as well, please share me. Please like and love and give me some love and give me some shares. And I'll be back at 7 o'clock next Sunday for another satisfaction session. And what else I meant to say was I've got a little challenge coming up, or I'm calling it a flowcation. I don't like calling it a challenge because it's not supposed to be challenging. It's about enjoying a sense of flow. That's coming up at the end of May. Have a look on my Facebook page, on my Instagram, all over the place. And you'll find a link and how you can sign up to that. So again, if you think anyone else is going to enjoy that, share it around. And I'll be back next week for another satisfaction session. Have a wonderful week.